I always think about what I would do if I had a YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Lindsay from This Life is Bananas because, well, this life is bananas. Including the fact that I've recorded this video probably 5 times. So, let's do this again. My husband Josh and I have been married for almost 8 years. We live in Orange County, California. We have 4 kids, and today I am telling you why I quit my teaching job. So, I taught high school English my whole teaching career, and during that time, we also started our family. So I started teaching in 2014, I got pregnant in 2015, and here we are in 2022, and we have 4 kids. So you can see that growing our family was very important to us, and that meant that I spent a lot of time outside of my classroom. And that was I wouldn't redo that, right? I wouldn't redo that at all. And as my kids started to grow, I could see their love of learning. Like, it's so exciting to watch a kid learn without any prompting, just in the world learning. So I was watching that happen, and then I was going to work, and that wasn't happening. And I wanted it to. I wanted it to happen, but it wasn't my students' fault. It even isn't necessarily the teacher's fault. You know, the education system is broken. And so I just had this dissonance. And so it was so hard for me to go to a job when I was trying to figure out if it actually was doing anything. And I'm not trying to be diplomatic. There are good parts of education. There are parts of my job that I really enjoyed. But overall, I didn't think it's what I wanted for my kids. And so a lot of things happened. We had babies. I experienced postpartum. I had a miscarriage. We became foster parents. My dad was diagnosed with cancer. He got a liver transplant. He was cancer-free. His cancer came back. Just all these things. And I went from telling my families on back to school night, you know, I could tell that I loved my job because I didn't cry every day when I left my kids. But that changed, and I started crying every day when I was leaving my kids. And then add on March 2020, going back to work, teaching virtually. My dad, his cancer came back. We were told that there's nothing they could do. Just everything compounded. And thankfully, my therapist suggested I go on medical leave. So like I said, I struggled with anxiety and depression. And so I was still, you know, going through the motions of healing from that, and then my dad having cancer. And so I went on medical leave, and my dad, you know, not to be dramatic, but on his deathbed was like, there's nothing that could have changed this situation. Like, there's no amount of money that could have changed this situation. And that, I just thought, I have to be home. You know, I didn't know how that was going to happen, but I just thought I have to be home. Even though I have a ton of student loans, even though, you know, we've only ever had 2 incomes. Orange County's expensive, all these things. And one thing led to another. I stayed on medical leave after my dad passed. Then I went on unpaid leave. And then it was finally time in May of 2022 to decide if I was going to go back. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't go back. And so here we are. I am unemployed. We are homeschooling. And it is beautiful. And there's so much more to this story. There's so much more to this story. But at the end of the day, I couldn't do a job that I didn't believe in. And I couldn't watch my kids be taught by someone else when I wanted to be teaching them. And, oh, my kids just got home. It's gonna get noisy. It just is. It's an exciting place. And it's a place that the Lord brought us to. So now I'm home, homeschooling, homemaking, and adjusting my heart to those things and what I've been told all my life by society. And also figuring out what kind of content I want to put into the world. And so yes, political things and all of that maybe plays a little role in this, but ultimately it is the Lord, because I could be the same person and the Lord could call me to stay in that job, and then that would be the right place for me. And that's not a decision that I can make. He knows best. And so I am going to be sharing homemaking content, homeschooling content, usually noisy because we live in a small space. And that's my family. So thanks for joining me. Subscribe if you're interested in seeing where our life is going.